This story isn't mine. It's from a friend I met when I was in the Mexican army. It left a mark on me because I experienced several things with him. His name was César. He was a corporal, and he came from Morelos. When I arrived at the battalion, he had already been there for a while, and you could tell right away. He was one of those guys who already knew the ropes, but he was also a real troublemaker, honestly. I had just gotten there, all new and still pretty clumsy, and he was the one who taught us everything: how to walk, how to sit, how to eat, how to address others. The whole process they teach you when you're still a recruit. There was also a soldier named Carlos.
Shout out to him if he sees this.
But he was just like us, learning and getting by. And with the corporal, there was both good and bad, because he was the kind who taught you, but he also liked to joke around. The first days were all about sweeping, mopping, polishing boots. And of course, I also got my first punishment. That one happened over something silly. It happened when I greeted Carlos like, "What's up?"
Tiger.
And the corporal was around there and just looked up. He didn't say anything at the moment, but we already knew something was coming. Later, he told us we'd been put on punishment, and we were all freaked out, trying to figure out how to get out of it. But this corporal rubbed his stomach and tapped it lightly, kind of like a seal. We understood he wanted something from there. So we both went to the cafeteria and bought him some tacos and a Coke. The corporal sat down comfortably to eat them. We were there relaxed, thinking we were off the hook. But when we were already walking away, this corporal shouted at us. And still chewing, he said to us,
"Where are you going? Come sign here."
That bastard still put us on punishment. I was really pissed off then, honestly. But now thinking back, it makes me laugh. Another thing I can't forget was when we went out on operations. We carried water in those big Ciel and Bonifant jugs. And when they dropped us off at the closest point, that's when things got interesting. Walking. That's when I learned the saying, if you don't carry, you don't eat. And well, the newer ones like us had to carry. There were several of us, including Carlos, another guy who'd been there longer, and me. And on a rocky stretch, I don't know how it happened, but one of the water jugs fell, and it broke completely. When the officer saw that, it almost seemed like he was pleased. He just said that from now on, our squad, along with the corporal, would go get water from the river. And yes, there was a river nearby, but there was also a ranch full of cows and a really long fence. It was easily about 1 kilometer or more, and going around it took quite a while. Between going around it and getting in, each trip took about 15 minutes or more. So every time we ran out of water, there we went again. By about the 5th time, the corporal said he was fed up, and he just told us to jump the fence and take a shortcut. So off we went. We went in, filled up the water jugs. Everything was fine, until suddenly the corporal saw the cows, and I don't know when he decided to imitate them. I'm not sure what they understood, but they got agitated, and in seconds they were already behind us. We tried to run, but with the gear, the weapon, and the full jugs, it's not that easy. We were moving as best we could, hurrying, watching them get closer. On the other side of the fence, the senior guys were already shouting at us to run. The officer stood there serious, arms crossed, just watching everything. I jumped first, then the others, and the corporal was the last one. One of the cows managed to give him a push before he crossed. We got a good scolding. And then the owner of the ranch showed up. That's when we all thought we were screwed again. Because the man showed up looking serious, looking at the fence, looking at the mess we made, and then turning to look at us, all sweaty, covered in dust, and with faces like it wasn't us. But luckily for us, the man had also been in the army. He was already retired, so he kind of understood the situation. He didn't get tough, he just told us something like to be more careful, not to be doing those kinds of things, and that was it. But that didn't save us, because the officer was already there with his face like, "You're about to see." And yeah, we all got put on restriction. At that moment, my adrenaline was through the roof. Honestly, I did get bummed out because on top of the chase, we still got put on restriction. But now when I remember it, it even makes me laugh. Especially seeing Corporal all serious afterward, like he wasn't the one who came up with the idea. After that, about 2 months later, we got transferred. Everyone went their own way, but I kept talking to him by text every now and then. I found out he got married, and since he was still young, he enrolled in sergeant school. He was really trying hard. But later on, he went through a tough period, one of those we all know about. In February, he was there when the Señor de los Gallos was taken down, and honestly, it didn't end well for him. That's why I'm sharing this story. Because beyond all the chaos, the laughs, and the stories, that's how he was. He was one of those corporals who kept you on a short leash, who made you mad in the moment, but without you realizing it, he taught you everything. Over time, you realize those people shape you, and even if they're gone, they remain in your memory. Some people enter your life at just the right time and unknowingly leave a lasting mark on you.